Hello, I'm Brooke Heffright from the University of Maryland Center for Advanced Study of Language, or CASL.
And I'm Michelle Morrison, also from CASL.
This is the first in a series of segments about multilingual practices.
What are multilingual practices? Well, when people use more than one language, we call them multilingual. Multilingual practices describes the various ways people use their different languages. You may be familiar with one very common type of multilingual practice called Diglossia. Diglossia is often used to describe language use in the Arabic-speaking world. In Diglossia, people are expected to use one language in some situations, such as school or work, and to use another language in other situations, like at the home or in the marketplace.
In this series, we're going to be talking about a different kind of multilingual practice, in which people use more than one of their languages in the same conversation. We're going to focus on how to distinguish two practices, switching and mixing. In switching, people use different languages in order to convey contextual meanings beyond the literal meaning of their speech. In mixing, people use different languages to assert their social affiliation and political stance.
To the outside observer, multilingual discourse can seem confusing or chaotic. But as we progress through the series, you will see that there are language patterns you can use as tools to infer implicit meanings and form hypotheses about speakers.
In the course of this series, we'll use recordings and transcripts to examine how multilingual speakers with some command of Somali, Arabic, and English interact in actual conversations. These conversations were recorded by a native Somali speaker who received much of his education in Egypt. He's now a graduate student at an American university, and he recorded these conversations with his family members of similar backgrounds. We've changed the names of the speakers for this series.
After recording was completed, our consultant transcribed and annotated the conversations. He also segmented the conversations into chunks and labeled each chunk for language.
Using what we know from the literature, our research team reviewed the transcriptions and analyzed the conversations.
Paying attention to multilingual practices and thinking about it in terms of mixing or switching can be useful to you. It can help you to make rational inferences about the social characteristics of a group and to explicitly ground your inferences in language behavior.
In the next segment, we'll talk more about contextualization as a first step to understanding patterns of multilingual practice. Again, I'm Brooke Heffright.
And I'm Michelle Morrison. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.